Morning, everybody. Day 4th today of preseason. Morning training session. So, we're a bit early at the training ground. And as I'm waiting for the players to arrive, I figure I'll share some thoughts with you guys. So what I want to remind everyone, and again, most of these videos are, if not all of them actually, and the purpose of creating this sequence of videos is to share with parents and future collegiate student athletes, high schoolers, what college life is all about as a student athlete, starting from a preseason, and the journey is going to take us through the season and whatnot. So I'm going to do my best to document everything by video from the coach's perspective. So one thing I want to remind you guys is that I'm going to walk over there because today's session we're going to be using 2 goals, but I want to remind you guys that preseasons have consequences, and if you follow me and you watch any of the previous videos, I always talk about the fact that you got to put the work in before you get to preseason. Every program, every college program gives a packet of conditioning and how to pretty much get ready for preseason. Some players take it extremely serious. Some players take it somewhat serious. Others not so much. But for every season that I've been here, it's the same story. There are players that will come into the preseason not prepared, and there will be consequences. What are the consequences? If you can't pass your fitness test, you have to do it over and over again until you pass it. I don't know about you guys, but if I want to put myself through pain, I'd rather do it once and do it right than having to do it every single day, halfway, and experience that pain. And that's what it is. A fitness test, and there's different fitness tests that different programs use. No matter what the fitness test is, it's not pleasant, but you got to do it. That's how you measure how fit you are. So if you got to run for a half hour, 45 minutes, non-stop or what have you, you got to do it. So you might as well be prepared for it, because if you're not prepared for it, guess what? You're going to have to redo it over and over again until you're ready, until you pass that test. And I'm going to share some videos with you guys, some of the players that didn't pass and they have to redo it again. And it shows at least our team's camaraderie, where players that are returning players mostly that have passed it, they're coming down to support, the players doing it all over again, and they run with them to try to motivate them and get them through that obstacle and pass that fitness test. So number one, consequences of not putting the work in before you come to the university or to the college program is that the consequence is, if you don't pass the fitness test, chances are, and I can't speak for every program out there, but from pretty good knowledge, most programs are the same way. You're going to have to pass that test, so you're going to have to do it over and over again until you pass it. That's number one consequence. Number two consequence is that your fitness will get in the way of your performance. And I don't care who you speak with, but every professional coach will tell you the same thing. At some point, when your mind starts getting weak, when you start getting tired, everything goes. Okay, you make mistakes. Your performance declines. You just can't wait to finish. Now you got to struggle through the mental part of your performance. But at the very least, mental mistakes happen because of lack of fitness. If you're not fit, your body starts misbehaving, your mind starts misbehaving, and bad things happen. So what happens when you start making mistakes? Well, if you start making mistakes over and over again, it's going to affect your chances of trying to get on the roster. Most programs, at least for soccer anyway, most programs carry somewhere around 30 players. 30 players, when you go to a game or, you know, when you travel to a game, different programs only carry a certain amount of players. Furthermore, only 11 players play. And when you establish yourself as a starter, it's difficult for somebody to take over that spot unless that starter doesn't perform well or doesn't do what it's expected of them. But let's be honest, this is college. Starters have fought hard to earn that spot. They're not going to give it up. So guess what? Once again, if you don't do the work, there's going to be consequences. You're going to have to suffer through doing the fitness test over and over again. You have to suffer. You're going to have to suffer through struggling, trying to not make mistakes, which will lead into a coach's evaluation, saying that, hey, that player is not ready. We have to work with him. And there you goes, you know, your chance of securing a spot. Furthermore, every program, when they go to preseason, Division I, they have some time more. They have the luxury of having a little bit more training time than Division II or Division III schools. Most schools, Division III schools and Division II, they don't have as much time. Division III, you're into preseason like 5 days maybe, okay? And you already have your first exhibition game. If you're not fit, if you haven't done the work, if you make mistakes, it's just a you know, domino effect. You go to the preseason game and you don't perform well, because in preseason almost everybody gets a chance to play. Even the freshmen, you know, get a chance to play so coaches can evaluate them. So it's a sequence of events that it leads to consequences where you might have a bad preseason game or a second or a third if you're not fit, if you don't do the work. Before you know it, you're struggling just to even stay on the training pool of players. So that's something that I wanted to share with you today, and we'll take it from there. Okay?